We just got major quarterback updates from ESPN insiders on the Arizona Cardinals. That's what we're diving into on today's show, and I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue. Welcome in to Cardinals Today, presented by PrizePicks. So, obviously, a lot of rumors on who's going to be the starting quarterback in Arizona, and we just got some huge updates on Brissett. I want you guys to predict in the comment section, though, before we dive into the updates. Who do you think will be QB1 when Week 1 hits? Will it be Jacoby Brissett? Well, you could type his initials JB. If you think Gardner, Minshew, type GM. If it's going to be Carson, Beck, the long shot, well, type CB. Or if you got someone else in mind, like an Aaron Rodgers, type O for other. But Josh Weinfuss, ESPN Cardinals beat reporter, just went on Get Up and dropped a major update about Jacoby, and they actually had a few throughout the show that we're going to look at. The first one reads as follows. I have been told, as of now, Jacoby Brissett is QB1 despite him holding out for a new contract. A source told me that he has been made aware of that. So they've literally told Jacoby, hey, you're QB1, man. Not sure if we're going to pay you more or not, but you're starting. That's kind of a weird spot to be in. But the Cardinals essentially want him to be their starter, but they don't want to pay him anymore. They don't want to pay him extra. And I guess I can see where they're coming from, right? Because he's not the quarterback of their future. Also, the Cardinals are notoriously cheap. Michael Bidwell, notoriously a very cheap owner. Okay, this is why the Cardinals don't land a lot of big splashes. This man doesn't want to pay him. And we know the Cardinals franchise quarterback is coming in 2027. We know it's not Jacoby Brissett. So they don't want to reach into their pockets for half a season starter in Brissett at most. This is the last season of Brissett starting. Okay, and that's where you're at with the Arizona Cardinals. And so I would say this about Jacoby. I think he's the best backup quarterback in the league. I mean, you got him as your two. I feel very comfortable if you have to have him go in a couple games. And he's a serviceable starter at that, right? It compliments to Brissett in that regard. But he's not your answer. He will not win you football games this year on his Cardinals team. And the numbers were pretty good for Jacoby last year, but a lot of those came at garbage time. The games were over, and that's when we start feeding Marvin. That's when we start getting hot, right? And so Brissett, who is, holding out, as we know from NFL insider Ian Rapoport, is still being told he's QB1 despite that. I didn't know we were going to get all this quarterback off-season controversy in Arizona, but here we are as Brissett sits out demanding more money. He's still our QB1. And another thing I'll say about this is I'm really tired of the losing mentality. I wish the Cardinals could just say, let's compete next year. Let's go out there and try to get every piece in place to compete and win football games instead of let's tank for next year. Because it's feeling like a rebuild and tank for next year again, and I'm tired of it. I bet the fans are as well. And so what would be the best way to do that? I mean, do you go all in on Aaron Rodgers? Is he the best quarterback option right now? He's a polarizing player. Not all Cardinals fans want him. Others are like, yes, let's make a win-now move. And so what's the latest on Aaron Rodgers and more intel from ESPN? That's what's coming up on the next part of this show, folks. You're not going to want to miss this because there's a lot to dive into here that Cardinals fans will be intrigued by. But first, let's give a special shout-out to our good friends over at PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the place to go if you love daily fantasy sports. Player picks on fire right now. Playoff basketball's getting going again tonight, and there's no better place to cash in while watching sports than with PrizePicks. You guys can follow me on the app and see all of my lineups. The username is at JoeyOD1. Get my picks before they're even posted here on the show. You can also follow your friends, share lineups with each other, and explore your favorite celebrity lineups right there on the PrizePicks app. Here's the lineup that I have cooked up for the weekend. $20 to basically double my money, pay out $39.20. I'm already correct about the more on Paul George and the more on VJ Edgecombe's points. I'm relying on playoff Harden to get more than 14.5 points. Am I cooked? I'm hoping Harden has a bounce-back game. I really think he will. He actually has had more than 14.5 points in 12 of his last 13 games. So I'm optimistic. But you guys can make the same exact lineup if you want to try and win some money. The app's really easy to use. Just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. And a new user offer if you download the PrizePicks app today and use code HMA, well, you get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Link is in the comments section and description of today's video, and that is code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. Let's get to NFL insider Ian Rapoport. What did he have to say about Aaron Rodgers and these Arizona Cardinals rumors surrounding Aaron Rodgers? Rapoport tells us, I certainly don't expect Aaron Rodgers to sign with Arizona. If he's going to play, I expect it to be for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And quite frankly, it always seemed unlikely that Aaron Rodgers would become an Arizona Cardinal. There were ties there, right? He loves Nate Hackett, it's nice weather, played with the LaFleur brother. But it always seemed like Rodgers was just going to re-sign with Pittsburgh if he is going to continue to play football. And so for the Arizona Cardinals, the quarterback room, according to Josh Weinfuss, is in this order. It is Brissett, Minshew, and then Beck. That's your 1, 2, 3 on your screen right there. And how does this factor into 2026? Well, Tim Hasselbeck was on ESPN, and the way he sort of outlined what he's hearing about the Cardinals is very interesting. He agrees that Jacoby is going to be QB1. However they work out this contract thing is however they work that out. But the Cardinals are planning on Brissett to be their starter. And then he said, we will see all three quarterbacks this season. Is that really possible? We're going to get to Minshew and to Beck? One shock, man, is the Cardinals are just trying to see if they have any hidden gems on this roster before we get to the 2027 class. He also said it seems like the Cardinals are just punting on addressing the quarterback. Which, honestly, from the outside perspective, we're not in the Cardinals building, but it does kind of seem like that, doesn't it? That they're just going to 2027. This definitely feels like 2 to 3 quarterbacks are going to play this year. I would like to see what they have in Beck, even though I'm not confident in what they have in Beck. I think they would like to get a little test run here before 2027. Brissett, the first 4 weeks, if it's good, keep playing him. If it's not, move to QB2 and then go to QB3 and Carson Beck. That's what I think this season is trending towards, to see if there's anybody that could secretly be the franchise answer at quarterback here before you draft one with your, well, probably top 5 pick in 2027, unfortunately. Here's a warning about Carson Beck, though. Everybody loves a backup quarterback until they play. That's the saying. Okay, everybody loves the backup until they actually see the backup play. And it's going to take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before everybody be like, this guy sucks. I'm telling you right now. I'm just ahead of the game with this right now, okay? We're all going to find it out later. Everybody's hyped up about Beck for now, and I'm rooting for him, but I'm not confident that he's going to play well in this Cardinals system right now. A little bit more from ESPN, though. There is a chance that Beck sees the field earlier rather than later. There will be an opportunity for Beck to show something. What Weinfuss said on Get Up was if he could look better than the other quarterbacks in training camp, well, he can earn his way to getting some playing time earlier, sooner, rather than later this very season, ladies and gentlemen, okay? He'll earn a real tryout this year if he can show that in practice. If it's not there, well, then he's going to sit at QB3, and we'll see if we get to him in 2026. Only thing that's weird to me about it, again, is you use a third-round pick on him, and if you draft a 2027 QB, does Beck ever serve your team? We'll see. We'll find out. Because otherwise, you're just waiting for Arch. You're just waiting for Dante Moore, for CJ Carr, Lenora Sellers. Your favorite quarterback in next year's class is miles ahead of this year's quarterback class in 2026, okay? And that's why only one quarterback, well, 2 quarterbacks went in the first round, and only one of them is probably going to play this year at all, all right? And so, honestly, I don't think that the Cardinal system is that bad. I think there's a lot of weapons for quarterback to work with when you do bring in that franchise quarterback. Okay, O-line could still use some work. I like the signing they made. I like the draft pick they made in Chase Basantis, but still needs some work in youth, right? Sam Malu's old. But the offensive weapons for the Cardinals, I mean, there's a lot to work with. You got Marv, you got McBride. I mean, a lot of people think that McBride's the best tight end in the league. Michael Wilson looked like the wide receiver 1 last year, okay? I mean, he's cooking. Jeremiyah Love is the best offensive player in this year's class. And you've got plenty of options now for a game manager quarterback like Beck, like Rodgers, like Brissett, or When you get your franchise QB, they're coming to a good offense with weapons to work with an offensive head coach. O-line was slightly improved as well. So as much as it's easy to be negative about the Arizona Cardinals, I actually think that things are looking up. They're looking up once this rebuild's complete. Once you have your quarterback, it's not going to be as far away as people are predicting and projecting with the young offensive star talent that you have. There's pieces here. Just needs to be glued together. As long as the owner doesn't get in the way, as long as Bidwell doesn't F this up, I still think he should sell the team. But whatever, it's not up to me. It's not up to us. It's only up to him. The pieces in place lead to a successful future if the Cardinals can all put it together. So, we'll stick with 2026. What do you guys think? Predict the Cardinals' record for next year. How are we feeling about that win total? Comment your prediction in the comment section. We'll see who can guess this thing right and call it in the comment section right now. If you guys want more Cardinals content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've got you covered here on Cardinals Today by Chat Sports. Hyped up to be able to make more Cardinals videos for you guys, so make sure you subscribe. And I'll have more coming out for you all next week.